Am I Claire Lambert? I want to get the hell out of here.
Oh, God, it's moving right towards you.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shuggy from Shug Earth Media, and today we are looking at Marvel's Alien number 1 through 6. This is the first chapter of Marvel's Alien series. Since Disney bought Fox a few years ago, they now own the rights to the Alien franchise, and once the contract ran out with Dark Horse, they have started their own franchise of Alien comics. And so far it's been pretty good, you know? I've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed a lot of the Dark Horse comics in the past. Yeah, it's turned out pretty good. So let's cut to the table footage and we'll flip through the comics and I will give my commentary as we go. Alright guys, well here we have it. Marvel number 1, Alien. I'm enjoying these covers. I like the photorealism aspect to them. Pretty cool. Could be a little bit more stylized, I think, but it is cool. It is eye-catching for sure. So we start off with this image here, and we don't get this explained for many issues, but this aspect of the storyline I do like. It does remind me of The Walking Dead a little bit, for obvious reasons. But this image is really cool. Now, this artist, from my understanding, I've heard from other reviewers, is notorious for tracing things, apparently, and a lot of people say that these figures are just the NECA figure, which I have over here, and they're saying that it's posed and that he traces off that. You know, if that's the case, it still looks pretty good. There's joints that seem to be a little bit more accentuated, so that you can articulate them in the figure, but you know, if he needs that to get it done faster, I honestly don't really have an issue with it, and it still looks great to me. And this panel is very detailed. I like the backdrop here, and this design right here comes back in the end and is very cool. And this like voiceover we have going on is cool as well. And here we're introduced to our major character, Gabriel. This character introduction is cool. I do feel like the writing is pretty good here, and the characters are well established. I especially like this family dynamic. It feels very real, very genuine. Now, some people might say this issue's a lot of setup. It's a lot of things that have future payoff. I think they did a pretty good job at making a realistic sounding argument. This issue is a little light on the action, but that doesn't bother me at all, because we need to set up this story, and we still get some cool flashback scenes with some great art. You know, I'm a big fan of how this art looks, whether it's traced or not, I really don't care. And then we get this surprise at the end, where we see, of course, the son is anti-Weyland-Yutani, and we, the audience, are as well, but we're still presenting them as the villains in the story. So neither side is in the right here, and I think that's an interesting dynamic I really do appreciate. And this cat here comes back in issue 6. We'll get back to that later. I think there's something about that cat. But anyways, yeah, this is a good ending, and it's a little unexpected. It's an interesting dynamic I don't think we've seen in the films in any way. A rebel group against Weyland-Yutani. So it's interesting to see. And I'm a big fan of these and like I can just hear the alert noises we hear in the film. So I'm a big fan of that. And we got a nice little cliffhanger here. Okay, so number 2 here. So this is the big setup where Gabriel's given the mission to go back to Epsilon Station to retrieve the specimen. However, he is of course more interested in trying to save his son and grant himself immunity as well as his son. And it's a very human interaction. You know, I think this dialogue is pretty well written. We have these two red shirts basically, but you know, they're questioning what's going on. They're teasing him for being an old man. Oh, that's good. And again, I like this color scheme, this art. It looks good to me. So we get them investigating. Of course, it's reminiscent of Aliens. And here we see Danny, Gabriel's son's girlfriend, who is also in on the attack. We find her in the locker, and of course, you know, she plays it like she doesn't know anything about what's going on. But of course, Gabriel sees right through that in subsequent issues, and we get some nice little killing going on. You love to see it. Yes, and I really like this panel right here. Very well done. We got issue 3 here. And we start off right in the middle of the action. Bracka, 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 bracka. Got some shooting going on. Some aliens attacking. This is all great. I do enjoy how the title scene is a little bit into the issue. It kind of structures it like television, in the sense that this beginning part is a teaser, and then we get the summary, we get the credits and all that. So I believe that the writer is a TV writer, and I think it does come across, but not in a bad way. And now we get a flashback, and we get to see more of what was happening on the station, and we get teased of this one in the dark. We saw her in the first issue, and it's a really cool design that I really like and need to know more about. But we're gonna have to wait a while for that. And of course, we have him making a tough choice of a former friend that is infected with a specimen. Yeah, and this is Gabriel seeing through Iris's act. And they decide to trust each other eventually, because of course she has information about Danny. And we get a chest burster scene, because what is an Alien comic without a chest burster scene? It's a must-have. And they did a really great job making it very gross. Not really sure why she calls him a fascist, but I guess it's kind of trendy right now. So we get a really cool scene of the nest here. It's really gross, and a lot of detail in this page, so I appreciate that. Shading is good, lighting is good. And of course, here is Danny, and this is the tragedy. Although we, the audience, are probably expecting that. And this is where the double cross happens, and we find out that Iris is, of course, double crossing them. We get teased a little more with the alien inside. We realize that it's Gabriel with the alien inside him. So he has had experience with this before, and he's hoping that the same thing can happen with Danny. Again, overall, this conflict pits neither side as the good guys, and yet we're still rooting for Gabriel because we feel the connection there, and it's hard not to sympathize with that. And we get this great little action scene here. They don't skip on the action in this, so I really appreciate that. And he decides to trust Iris against his better judgment, of course. Because where would the conflict be if he chose not to trust her, you know? Now, they do these effects with blurring and these depth of field effects. I'm not so much big on those. It makes it kind of hard to see the line work, which I like to see, so, you know, but to each their own. We get this great panel here of the alien dropping through the window. It's very cool. And here, right at the end, we get the Alpha. Looks really cool. I like the ram horns, the 4 of them, and the claws he's got, the like weird abs he's got. He's got like 10 abs, bro. That's impressive. This dude's doing a lot of squats, I tell you what. Okay. We get this great scene of chasing here. This shot is gross. And then we get this page, which is really cool. We got multiple ram things, and we got the one in the darkness looking on over the whole thing. Really gross page. Very cool. One of my favorite pages in all of these 6 issues. And we get Bishop saving Gabriel. Here we're showing Gabriel getting the Alpha surgically removed, and now it's all grown up and chasing after him, so he's literally paying for his sins. Here we get the scene between Bishop and Iris, and I think they lay it on a little too thick in terms of Iris essentially telegraphing what she's about to do later on. It's very clear that she's going to be double crossing them, and she makes no qualms about having an issue with Bishop. Now, there is a nice twist to this here. We'll find out in the next issue, which is that Iris herself is actually a synthetic as well, and she is disgusted by him not because she is a human, but rather because she is a synthetic that wants to live free and wants to end organic life on this planet. But I think they lay it on a little thick. It makes it very obvious what she's going to do at the end. I don't know if it's supposed to be a surprise, but I think they're trying so hard to subvert our expectations, they end up doing the most obvious thing. Now, in retrospect, it looks like this panel here might have been her doing. This is a great page here. I love the coloration of the panels, the lighting, it's all good. And this is a cool scene. We get them chased, and then he throws the bombs and blows it up. Now, if they're on a spaceship in the vacuum of space, there shouldn't be an explosion, but it's all good. I'm just getting picky at this point. Now, there's something about this cat. I don't know what this cat represents, but there's something about this cat, okay? And, of course, we get the double cross here, and it really isn't very surprising. And I was surprised that it looked like she killed Gabriel here. But I don't know if she just has bad aim or wasn't really trying to kill them, just wanted to put them down. But she didn't do a very good job, as we see in the next issue. They are alive and well. They don't even really seem all that injured, which is kind of odd. Okay. Issue 6, this is the latest issue. And we get what we think are the dead bodies here. But of course, Bishop is not dead, but he is surprisingly able to kill Iris, which of course reveals that she is in fact a synthetic herself. And that was actually a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting that. But in retrospect, it seems kind of obvious. But yeah, that was a nice little surprise. Now, she has this whole speech and gives away that she's trying to end organic life and all that. But I'm not so sure why she's explaining all this. I suppose synthetics have emotions in a way. Oh, that's why. Okay, I just realized she wasn't able to kill Gabriel because of the programming, and that makes sense, unless there's some kind of override that they have. So that makes sense, although shouldn't she have not been able to damage him? I don't know, maybe we'll see more explanation on that. But yeah, it's a good speech that she gives. But it's just like, why is she telling them all this? Her plan would probably work out better if she didn't bother to explain all this. But we get this great panel here of whatever we're going to end up calling this creature. And she says, she is your own future, the inevitable result of the deadly little thing you brought back inside you. And I like how there's like this skull embedded in her forehead. It's kind of cool. Yeah, and then we get Weyland-Yutani, of course, wants the specimen back, but Gabriel's not too keen on it. Now we get him going out onto the surface of the ship. And there's the Alpha right there. And of course, this is Gabriel getting his reckoning for the thing surviving in the first place. He blows up this little pressurized air thing and blows them out into space, and they burn out in the atmosphere. Now, I'm not convinced the Alpha is actually dead, but we'll have to see, because these creatures are very resilient. And I was actually surprised that Danny's still alive, because now it seems Gabriel's obviously dead. And like I said, there's something going on with this cat. And it says end chapter 1, which leads me to believe that this will be a long series, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. But I'm curious to see who's going to be the main character, because Gabriel was the one point of view character, the guy we actually rooted for, other than Bishop. So I'm curious to see, like, is Danny the main character now? Because I don't think many of us particularly like him, although I suppose we are on his side in terms of being against Weyland-Yutani. However, don't necessarily support his methods, of course. So, and the fact that he got subverted by a synthetic who's trying to wipe out organic life. He didn't check that hard. But yeah. So yeah, in general, guys, I enjoyed this issue, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Alright guys, so there you have it. That's my review of the Alien comics. Overall, I liked it. Couple little things to point out, but other than that, I'm excited to see where it goes. I will certainly continue to read these. And let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you disagree, I would love to talk with you guys about it. And all that. Smash like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And if you like comics, be sure to check out shookearth.com, where my medieval samurai series, Hototo, is described. You see a little synopsis. You can sign up for email list to be the first to know any information about the series. And yeah, if you guys want to check out my previous video, it's a short film that I made several years ago. But yeah, it's a pretty cool story called The Heroes. I think you guys might like it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and everybody have a good one.